We're just going to use our dialogue options and possess her. Bing! Now we're running around in her body. As you can see, her model isn't entirely finished. She was never meant for what we're doing. She was never meant to run around with you. So we're just going to check her out from behind. Ding! She can jump, she can bounce. And there's us back there. That's me in the street light. That's me in the evening dress, losing my humanity. Alright. Let's check out the character sheet of our new pickup. Alright. She's, well, she's an ordinary person. Nothing above 2 dots on her character sheet and only a few things there. She has some firearms training, which is rather interesting, and some dodge training, which is rather interesting. She must come from the ghetto. You notice down here, instead of disciplines, it says Numina. Numina are special powers that mortals might have. Oh, and her name is Azara. That's a hell of a name. Okay, maybe she doesn't come from the ghetto. Maybe she comes from somewhere a lot more interesting. Either way, Numina are special powers that mortals might have, like psychic abilities or special crappy magic. She doesn't have any of these, of course. She's just a normal person. Interestingly enough, her highest skill is seduction. That might come in handy. That and ranged weaponry. But anyhow, we'll zip out of her and jump back into our own body. Unpossess. Floop. Ah, feels good to be back home. For example, I have a back to my head. Well, soup. Let's get back into our eyes. And let's search for more adventure. We've defeated the Plague Bearer, but we have one other quest to do for the Anarch. We could talk to Patti. Downtown. The attention whore wants you to make Patti disappear. She's a ghoul who has been bugging everyone about her master and won't believe them when they tell her he's dead. Ghouls are interesting. As I've said before, ghouls are created when a vampire feeds some of his blood to a mortal without turning her into a vampire herself. This gives the mortal the powers of a vampire without any of the drawbacks. The only downside is that vampire blood is terrifically addictive, and they become addicted to the vampire who turned them into a ghoul. This can be problematical, especially if the vampire, like ourselves, is a jerk. Isn't that right, girls? Oh. Isn't that right, girls? Yes, I bet you enjoy tanking vampires and horrible monsters for me. Yes, those shotgun blasts put you right in the mood. Well, that looks like a club. One heck of a club. So let's go visit it, see if Patti's inside. Somebody's in here. We definitely got a bit of a crowd. And in we go. Definite cathedral motif. Oh good, cage dancers. Those class up a joint, don't they? Well, we got her we could talk to. We got the dancers on the dance floor. We've got Marilyn Manson. Hello, spooky kid. We've got Gimpman. We've got a unique model who only appears in this place. Look at her go. And we've got the bartender. She's a bit of a character. We'll talk to her a little bit later. In the meanwhile, let's see if we can talk to this babe here. I just wanted to see if your voice was angelic as you. It is. You are. Ugh. There's no one else in this bar or this city I could say that to. Wahahaha. At this point, we could take her into our merry band, but quite frankly, I have no place for clowns. Look at that eyeshadow, my god! But I do have something to tell her. I want some of your blood! Nom 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 nom. That fills me up. And it also confirms that our seduction is high enough to use her as a blood doll from here on out. Very handy. But here, beneath the cage dancer, cage dancer, is the girl we're looking for, Patti.
I knew you'd talk to me. I swear you were all like totally drawn to me. I'm surprised I don't know you. I usually meet all the LA vampires out on the scene. Not a lot of you out tonight, which is weird, because I don't know of any parties going on.
Vampires, huh?
No, come on. It's totally cool. I'm Patti. Seriously, everyone knows me. Besides, I just wanted to ask you if you've seen someone.
Who is this lucky someone?
His name is Kent Allen Ryan. He's a Toreador. Really good looking, dresses really well, like all Prada usually.
I do know him. I saw him recently.
You are totally awesome. It just goes to show you that you don't have to dress cute or care what you look like to be a cool girl. So, where is Kent?
Now, there are a couple ways we could deal with her. Some nicer than others. We could take her out into the back alley here and drain her blood. Always a popular option for the vampire set. We could tell her he's in another city and fob her off on some other unlucky vampire community, which is what we're going to do. Or, well, you've met that guy at the blood bank. He's getting that vampire blood, well, that blood for vampires, rather. He's getting it from somewhere, and it ain't from the local stocks. We could send her down to the blood bank, and that'll make her disappear just as well. But we're not that kind of jerk. So instead, we're going to make her somebody else's problem. He went to San Diego for some business deals he had to act fast on.
Oh, that is totally Kent. He's so like that. I better go find him. He needs my help to do anything. Thanks again.
Yeah, no problem. Just drive down there. He'll be looking for you. Zoom. And she walks out of the world. And we will never see her again. Thank God. Zoop. She doesn't even have to use the door. She just teleports out of existence. Isn't that neat? And we should do the same. We'll need to go back to the last round and tell Skelter, that buff black guy vampire, that Patti has been dealt with. Let's see, I think it's this way. Ah, heck. I'll meet you there. Hey, Skelter. How's it going?
What's up?
I took care of the Patti problem.
Good work. Ghouls ain't nothing but trouble, if you ask me. It's a weakness.
Yeah, who'd want companions following them around all the time? Glad to be of service to such a just cause.
What's up?
I have a few questions.
Yeah?
Wanted to ask you about someone.
Yeah? Who do you want to know about?
Let's see, what's up with this damsel chick?
New college girl over there? To be honest, she reminds me of those miserable stateside protester fucks from when I was at 9. But she's on the right side of history. Don't let the hippie vibe fool you.
Hippie vibe. You haven't seen damsel lately, have you? Tell me about someone else.
Yeah, who do you want to know about?
What's up with Jack? What's his deal?
That's the man there. One righteous kid. I wish he'd take a more active stance in our fight. Fuck, man, he's Jack. Jack just does his thing. Gotta help anyone who gets in the way.
I noticed. In the tutorial level, we saw him punch a knife straight through a vampire and out the other side. Thanks. Zoom. And that finishes us for here. Out we go. What new adventures await us? I wonder. Actually, I know. And we'll get right on them. As soon as I take another look at my girls. Come here. There we go. Alright, welcome back. I was just off saving the game and messing with my character sheet. This is what we look like. Whoa! Oh yeah, they also automatically zip behind you. There's one, there's two. Okay. They automatically zip behind you, so to stay out of your way. Isn't that great? Only if more games could think like that. This is what we look like right now. Right now, we're increasing our attributes pretty well. We're leaving our abilities on their own, more or less, because we can get skill books to raise our powers. And of course, we can be trained by other characters. And disciplines, well, right now we haven't encountered too much that needs a higher level of discipline. But we'll get to that eventually. Recently, I put a dot into dodge and one into melee. Or melee, or however you want to pronounce it. Because we're going to have to do some fighting eventually. I mean, it's not like we just beat down a Bruja with a shotgun or anything. So that's where we are at the moment. Our humanity is full, and we have no masquerade violations. We are talky with a persuasion of 6, seductive with a seduction of 4, and we can sneak and lockpick with the best of them. So now, let's go to our next adventure. I'll meet you there.